We have since a long time said that by 2025, half of our cars should be fully electric, or half of the sales should be fully electric. And now we're complementing that with a hard end date of 2030. And we do that to focus our resources for a quick transformation and quick transition, which we believe is the right thing to do. Consumers want it. They expect Volvo to take a lead in planetary safety, just as we've always done when it comes to physical safety. And purely from a company strategy point of view, it's the right thing to do. Fully electric premium cars is the fastest part of the auto market, and we want to be a winner in the premium market, so we should focus on the growing part. So for us, 2030 is a hard end date, and we aim to make a transition very quickly from where we are today until that point.
What would you say, or how would you describe the major challenges to reach that milestone?
There are a number of things that we as a society need to go through in order to get there. First of all, the affordability of fully electric cars, and primarily the battery cells need to get cheaper and the technology needs to get better for that to happen. And that will happen with focus and with scale. Then we need charging infrastructure throughout the world for this to work. And also there is going to take some time with getting consumers' behavior to change, getting consumers to understand what their driving pattern is like, how it is to charge your car, where you can do it. There's always a bit of hesitation as you change technologies and habits, and we need to overcome that as well. So I would say affordability, charging infrastructure, and just the time it takes for human behavior to adapt.
Now that's the big one, isn't it, Björn? Getting human behavior to change. How are you getting over that?
Plug-in hybrid is basically a part-time electric car. We sell 30-40% of our sales in Europe is with plug-in hybrids, and those cars are being driven 40% of the time with energy charged from electricity. So these cars and these consumers, they're already today getting into the habit of charging every day, be it at home overnight or be it at work during the day. So a massive amount of this habit change is happening stepwise through the plug-in hybrid. And I think many consumers are now ready for the step to go fully electric.
Nevertheless, some consumers are still hesitant about, should we say, going green, because they wonder how green the technology really is. We're moving away from an engine to something powered by electricity. How are you persuading consumers that it really is a green revolution?
I think, first of all, I think that hesitation is a very sound hesitation, because a fully electric car is not a silver bullet into a climate neutral future. We need to really think through all of the steps of the chain here, from where you source the raw material to the production, the logistics, and in particular when it comes to the battery cells, it's critically important that they are being produced with by producers using fossil-free energy sources. Otherwise, it makes no sense. And then there are other aspects when it comes to battery cells as well. There's an ethics dilemma where some of the key components, say cobalt, for instance, is being typically sourced from areas which are, let's say, problematic from a social structure perspective. So we need to, as an industry, and that's what we're doing at Volvo, investing heavily in tracking systems to make sure that everything that's being used in those cars are sourced in a socially responsible way. So there is no silver bullet there, and I think what we can do as a producer is to be extremely transparent. What is the carbon footprint over the full life cycle? What are the different origin of sourcing, and how do we make sure we live up to sourcing everything in a socially responsible way? This is not a solution for tomorrow, it's a solution for the next decade, and we need to work through many problems.
You've put your finger on an important point there, Björn, about the battery. And people have this vague idea, well, where are the batteries made? And lithium, what's that? Is that part of the battery? Where does that come from? And how ecologically friendly is lithium and some of the components of a battery? And can you renew it, or do you have to buy, what happens to the battery once you've used it?
Yes. No, and those are exactly the questions that we need to have solid answers to. And the short answer is, everything that gets sourced should be sourced in a socially responsible way. And we at Volvo will never source anything that we can't guarantee is sourced in a socially responsible way. And as a system, we need to make sure that those rare earth materials are recycled. So once the battery is used, there has to be very effective recycling processes to get those those materials back into producing new batteries. So that circular design and thinking is something that needs to go into this revolution at the get-go. We can't think about that in the end.
What about your workforce, Björn? I mean, the old days of the engineers in the garage, have they gone away? And these days, you just want people who are computer experts looking under the bonnet?
Not just, but there is a big change for Volvo cars. I mean, this whole shift to full electric future has happened at the same time as the car, as you said, is going from being a mechanical piece to a computer on wheel, where a lot of the consumer value add comes through software. And at the same time, the whole way a car is getting sold and serviced is going much more into an online setup. So massive amount of change for an automotive player like Volvo, and being relatively small and nimble makes for an exciting time. But we definitely still need mechanics that take care of the car. There are still going to be brakes that need to be repaired, and a car is still a physical product that needs a physical form of delivery.
One of the strengths of your reputation is safety. Will that continue to be central to the electric car policy going forward?
Yes, safety is core DNA on Volvo. It will continue to be a core DNA on Volvo. What we're doing now, and what I think our consumers expect from us, is that we include a broader sense of safety. I mean, planetary safety, sustainability is a core safety issue for the time to come, and we are promising our consumers to live up to the same excellence there as we have always within safety. If you make that a core part of your DNA and you focus wholeheartedly over time, you can drive a lot of change. I think we showed it with physical safety, and we are determined to also show it with planetary safety.
Björn Annwall, many thanks for joining us on The Agenda.
Thank you.